Welcome back. The episode that we have for today is Education in the Filipino. Now, one of the things that obviously you were talking earlier about the environment and stuff. So, well, one of the things that we have to consider is the great impact of technology at saka yung globalization that we have on education. And one of the comments or some of the things I've also read is that the kids nowadays daw, yung ability nila to focus or yung attention span daw nila apparently is a lot lesser than the attention span of the people or of the youth of yesterday. How true is that?
Very true.
So, okay.
Very true. Pointing finger. No, kasi nga yung multitasking, no? I mean, siguro ang advantage niyan ay talagang capable of multitasking.
Because you multitask, you're also multifaceted. So that's an advantage.
Pero yung disadvantage nun ay talagang yung kasi hindi ba merong salitang ADHD. Ngayon yung ADHD ay ginamit attention deficit disorder etc. ADD. Noon hindi lang makapag-focus eh. In other words, dahil sa teknolohiya, sa daming posibleng gawin, nawawala yung focus. Kaya ako mas pabor ko sa libro eh. Kasi yung libro talagang focused ka. Hindi ka pwedeng gumawa ng iba't ibang bagay nang may libro. Samantalang pwede ka kumuha ng mag-cut and paste na marami ka pang ibang mga windows sa computer, hindi ho ba?
Yes, based on experience na, Doc.
By observation.
No, but it also means kasi because sa dami ng sources of information, parang may mga nagsasabi na, well, ngayon, hindi na kailangan tuloy talaga mag-aral yung bata doon sa classroom. Yung sinasabi mong pag-memorize ng araw, parang what's the point pa of that? Kasi pwede naman nila i-Google or wiki na lang. So para bang sinasabi ng iba is mag-focus na lang on yung ability daw ng tao to be analytical or yung social, yung ability niya to socialize with others daw.
Which is exactly where the classroom comes in. Kasi importante sa learning na hindi lang ikaw yung nagre-receive ng information. Kailangan malaman mo paano rin ni-receive to ng ibang tao. How are your peers receiving the same information and how are they reacting?
Why is that important?
Compared to yours. Because it's part of learning. It's not only analyzing your own opinion, but it's also analyzing others' opinion, and that has an effect on you.
So learning is more of it's like a social experience, not really.
It is a social experience necessarily. Kasi mahirap matuto ng buo nang mag-isa ka.
Would that be an indictment tuloy on yung tinatawag nilang homeschooling tuloy?
No, yung homeschooling, ang problema ng homeschooling ay, siguro alam ng readers, ng viewers natin yung homeschooling?
Yung mga nag-school sa home.
Nag-i-school sa home, pero kasi si Nora Honor homeschooler, pero hindi siya homeschooler.
Okay.
I mean, in other words, yung nag-homeschool siya, nag-school siya sa bahay, pero dahil artista siya.
Okay.
Pero yung mga nag-homeschool ngayon, ang nanay nila ang nagbibigay ng...
Yes.
And
ang pinaka-challenge doon, yung social relationships.
Social aspect.
Yun ang pinaka-biggest. Mayroong isang estudyante sa aming paaralan na gumawa ng pag-aaral tungkol doon. At may konting challenges, social relationships doon sa homeschooler.
The institutions who run programs for homeschooling would always tell their parents to place their children in activities like sports, arts, where they get to relate to other kids, because no man is an island. So is a kid. So ang mas lalong mga bata, they need to be able to play with other children because that's how they learn.
So the playing thing is important as well.
Definitely.
Actually, I have another question already, but you touched on something that's quite interesting. So if playing pala is that important, how come parami ang subjects yung mga bata right now? I mean, no indictment naman on anything, pero I do remember nung araw parang I think my college load was a whole lot lesser than the college load of the kids right now. And I would presume it's the same for the grade school people and the high school kids. So, but if play pala is that necessary, how come the classroom hours are
yung play sa preschool or yung hindi you're not talking of preschool, you're talking of college, no?
When I say play, I mean siguro I'm using it generically, like yung ability to the time to talk to other people, the time to interact. If you're a kid, it's playing time.
Yun nga ang halimbawa doon sa pinagtatrabaho namin, yun ang example na kaya nililimit yung units.
Okay.
Ang UP naglilimit, ang Ateneo naglilimit, yung University of Asia and the Pacific ay naglilimit na ngayon ng ng fewer units.
Sorry, ngayon lang.
Pero
sorry, hindi ka enough.
Pero ang advantage ng maraming units, sa palagay ko hindi totoo na walang play. Kahit ilang units mo, the mind of the person is able to adjust to the load, no? So ang UANP graduate, it seems, kilala sa kanilang kapasidad na maraming concerns.
Pati yung the discipline involved siguro.
Pag-aayos nila itong discipline na ito. Kasi yung mga paper requirements, ilan ang paper requirements mo nung high school? Anong college ka? Mga in a week? A lot, no? Kaya pagpasok sa kumpanya, sanay sa talagang rigor.
Yeah.
Hindi rigor mortis, yung rigor.
And sorry, it seems also like I said earlier, and I wasn't joking when I said na because you multitask, you're multifaceted. I mean, grade 1 kids now are able to memorize different types of whales or dinosaurs or I don't know, scientific data that maybe I only learned about when I was in high school or something like that. So, and I think it has something to do with technology also, because the children are exposed to the web, television, radio, and all sorts of technology. They're able to analyze these data more advanced than we did back in the day.
But again, it goes back to the question. Yeah, but it goes back to the question I was asking earlier. Parang how do you solve yung pagiging distracted nila or yung short attention span? And for them to be able to analyze properly, they have to go very deep.
Yeah.
But ang napapansin ko is apparently is that they have a wide range of information in their heads, pero in the depth is not there. Now, it could be
kaya nga yung guro kailangan nandoon. Okay. Yung magulang kailangan din nandoon. Ang suggestion nga sa mga magulang na between grade 1 and 4 nandun yung magulang na katabi ng bata. Between grade 5 and 6 or 7 depende, nandun lang sa room. Between first year and fourth year high school, nandun lang yung material. Provided yung materials, and then they leave the children on their own.
Okay.
So
pero may mga magulang na kahit na sa college, ina-enroll yung mga bata.
We'll talk about that later. But I'd like to shift now to yung sa state of education, kasi as we were saying earlier, yes, it is depreciating, and I think it has more to do with the quality daw ng teachers you mentioned earlier. But in some of the readings I've also had
teachers at magulang.
Teachers and magulang. In some of the readings I've had, they were pointing to 3 culprits, and I'd like you to address each one of them. Kung tama nga ba. Ang pinaka number 1 culprit they say is funding, but let's leave that until later. The first 2 is yung culture daw. Para bang if the culture of the person parang does not encourage proper education, and then hindi aangat siya lalo kung social class and what have you. And the other one would be yung essentially yung culture and social class. Parang yun daw yung naghihinder ng bata sa pag-aaral, lalo kung mahirap ka, parang yung ability mo daw makapag-absorb would be a little bit more difficult daw. How true is that? Na yung social class at saka yung culture nakaka-affect sa pag-develop ng...
I would agree that culture definitely has an effect on, again, maybe not on the ability, but it's circumstantial kasi katulad ng, I had an experience before where I learned that a first-year high school student, hindi siya makapasok-pasok dahil kailangan niyang magtulak ng karton ng tubig para makakuha siya ng pera para makapasok siya. So, madami siyang araw na hindi nakakapasok dahil nag-iipon siya.
But if I also mention, like, sinasabi na bakit yung mga Asian kids doon, mga Chinese kids in the US, matataas yung mga math and science grades. And so they say, baka nga it's cultural. Kasi bakit yung mga Western kids parang nilalampaso doon ng mga Asians.
Asian kids.
So, how is important nga yung culture?
Yun ngang, sa akin palagay, yung walang kultura na magsasabi na hindi bibigyang halaga ang edukasyon. Walang kulturang gano'n. Na lahat ng kultura nagbibigay ng halaga sa edukasyon. Iba't ibang antas ng halaga, no? Pero yung disiplina ng mga bata, kasi halimbawa yung disiplina ng bata sa Batanes ay napakalakas. Kaya talagang malakas ang pick up nila ng mga tinuturo sa kanila, hindi lamang impormasyon, kung hindi yung pati yung mga processing ng information at saka yung pagpapalakas ng kalooban, no? O ganun din siguro sa China, ganyan. Yung sa Western culture, karamihan, let's say United States, siguro kaya nilalampaso, and this one has been mentioned, no, by some experts, no, na medyo loose yung disiplina.
Liberal.
So disiplina, I think discipline counts a lot, and discipline begins at home and is continued by the school.
But if I may be medyo mischievous in the question, so okay, fine, discipline the Asian kids, but how come yung mga Nobel Prize winners sa science and what have you comes from the West? How come we have very few science prize winners na galing sa Asia, for example?
may kakayahan ang Asian kids. I mean, halimbawa, ang dami ngayong competitions na pinapanalunan ng Asian kids, compared
like,
to
there are 3 ninth
robots.
graders, well, they're from IS Manila, who won 5th place in the World Robotics Olympics, yeah.
But I just like to add, but because I saw a recent documentary on, well, Asian kids studying in South Korea, and it actually showed the dangers of this being over-disciplined to the point that some kids...
And I think in Japan as well.
Yeah, they ended up even studying up to 1 in the morning. All they do is study. In fact,
wala nang
South
social
Korea.
life.
Yeah.
Exactly, there's no social life. In fact, they had to pass a law to limit these night tutoring sessions because it was really pushing kids. So, yeah, in that sense, discipline, it does seem to be a hindrance as well.
I don't really consider that as a disciplined scenario, because disciplining means it entails it entails balance, right? So
between discipline and freedom nung bata.
Yeah, parang disiplina ka sa academics, pero kailangan merong social life ka rin, kailangan meron kang family life. So I won't really describe that as a perfect scenario for, you know, having a disciplined lifestyle.
Kasi halimbawa dito sa Pilipinas, meron akong kilalang isang sitwasyon na nakaka-98 na yung bata, pero pinapagalitan ng magulang.
Yeah, I know people like that.
Dahil hindi 99.
Dahil hindi 99.
Hindi 100, no? So yung balanse ng magulang, kaya ang pagmamagulang ay hindi ibig sabihin na may anak ka, magulang ka na eh. Kailangan yung magulang may gulang eh. Hindi lahat ng tumatanda ay nagkakagulang, na magulang. Kaya yun, na balance between discipline
and may I ask, ito yung palaging kino-complain ng mga ibang guro, for example, sa public school. How important nga ba na yung government magbuhos ng additional funds into education? How important is yung public spending on education?
This may be mouthing a lot, no? And I refuse to be jailed for this. But no, yung na sinasabi ng ilan sa Education, Department of Education, na kung walang corruption sa mga book acquisition, etc., ay napakalaki pa na maaaring maibigay ng pamahalaan sa edukasyon, no? Hindi lamang sa school buildings, kundi yung sa salaries ng teachers. Yung salaries ng teachers, may maraming kinakaltas, no? At ito ang problema ni Raul Rocco, ni Secretary Gloria, ganyan, yung mga kinakaltas sa mga teachers ng mga bagay-bagay na hindi naman talaga dapat ikaltas doon sa kanilang sweldo. And then yung book acquisition, yung furniture purchase, no, etc., na it's something that we really have to solve as a people, no, yung corruption. I'm not sure I don't think it is endemic, no, pero talagang narariyan ngayon, no?
Well, that's interesting, and it's a bit of a sorry thing that we have to cut for a break. We'll wrap up the session with questions on the future of education in the Philippines, and I hope you can join us then. Thank you.